Welcome back to the garden. Just going to take you around with me a little bit today as I harvest a few things and show you how the garden is progressing. Here it is just past the middle of August, and we are in central Indiana. So this is just my suburban backyard garden. This is my first year doing any kind of large garden like this. I've done some gardening just in containers and stuff before, but this is definitely much larger than anything that I have done to date. Have a few issues going on, as this kind of typical for this time of the year. We have a little bit of disease pressure, some pest pressure, things like that, which is a little frustrating, but really to be expected. As I said, we have a nice looking cucumber up here that is hanging down off of our cattle panel trellis, so we'll get that so we can have that with dinner tonight. And then over here we have a few things going a little bit crazy. As you'll see throughout here, I may have over planted or under appreciated how large some of these plants were going to get, but that's okay. At least it keeps down the weeds and such. So have a couple little radishes here. That one's a little bit funny shape, but it'll still taste good. So we'll get a couple of those out of here. Whoops. There we go. Now is a really good time to plant more things like radishes and beets. Oh, that's a nice looking one. Because they are cooler weather crops, they tend to do better. They won't go to seed as quickly. They won't bolt as quickly. This right here is a radish that went to seed. Now I'm just letting it flower, and then I will collect the seeds and rip it out once it's done. But it's good for the pollinators, and if you like to collect seeds, you have to let things bolt and do their kind of natural thing. Got some dianthus or sweet william there, and some nasturtiums there. Got some tomato plants. They need a little bit of support. In there you'll probably see some bees buzzing all around here, which is a great sign. If you want to grow food, you have to have pollinators. Over here we have a couple of things going. We have some cucamelons on this part of the trellis. As you can see, they look like little tiny watermelons. They taste like a slightly sour cucumber, so they're interesting. Not sure what I'm going to do with them. I think I'm going to try to just do a quick pickle on some of them. Back in here, if you see it, we have a cicada. I think it's just waiting to scare me. I hate those things. And then here we have some noodle beans. So we have some red ones and some green ones. These are also called yard-long beans. So I have them going up the trellis. I got my garden started this year quite a bit later than I would have liked because I did have to build most of the infrastructure. We had a couple of the beds built already, but most of it we had to put in and then get soil and stuff. So here, this massive thing right here is called a tromboncino squash, or zucchini rampicante, I believe. So this is interesting because it can be harvested young and used as any kind of summer squash, a zucchini, or you can let it age on the vine like this, and then it will get the tougher skin, and you can save it as like a winter squash. So I think that's pretty interesting. Have some, just some various flowers, and this sunflower is a little bit past its prime, but the birds are still going after it. The pollinators are still trying to do their thing there. Got some cucumber beetles, which I have grown to despise. And then down here we just have some more tomatoes, some zucchinis. It's now impassable through there, so get some support in there and what have you. Got some melons going here. You'll see I do have some, as I said, some disease coming in. We got some leaves that just look pretty bad. I'm not sure if that is because of the cucumber beetles or if that's because of the leaf-footed bugs. I'm not really sure, but it is kind of sad. Over here, this tomato right here is called a giant crimson. If you guys follow Luke at M.I. Gardener, you know the story of those. He found some 80-year-old seeds and got a couple of them to actually germinate and grow, and then took the seeds from that and regrew more. So he's kind of bringing that one back from near extinction. So yeah, I have some right here. I have some ground cherries here, and then some tomatillos. I have some purple tomatillos and some green tomatillos going. And then back here again, this one here in front is the ground cherry, and then some zucchini, and this is just the other side of that bed. I have something that has vined out along the ground here, some kind of squash. I have to find the tag, but it's a little bit hard to find right now. Got some other roses right here, and gonna go ahead and harvest some of these noodle beans probably tomorrow and do a quick pickle on those as well. Here I have a pepper bed, so have all kinds of different peppers, and then in between the rows I planted some radishes, because again, they don't really like the heat, so that kind of provided them a little bit of shade and kept it a little bit cooler there for them. So I'll be harvesting some peppers. I have quite a bit. These are some Craig's Giant jalapeno, something along those lines. And then have some banana peppers in here. Have some shishitos over there. And then a lot of this here at the back is just various bell peppers. So some of those are ready, but most of them are still pretty tiny. And then more just a couple melons here. And then we have more tomatoes that need some help and support. More zucchini there. I do have a second round of zucchini started, so I will get the old ones that aren't really doing a whole lot. I'll get those pulled out and swapped out. We do still have enough time for a quick summer squash like that. So here we have some tomatoes that are looking about perfect. We had rain about a day or two ago, so I left these on. I didn't get them before the rain, so I kind of let them on here to dry out a little bit. You don't have to do that, obviously. You can pick them whenever you want. Sometimes if you know the rain is coming and you have ripe tomatoes, you want to pick them before the rain comes, because sometimes that will cause them to split. If it gets too much rain, more rain than the tomato can really has room for within its shell, so to speak. So have some really good looking ones here. This one is looking really good, but it's not quite ready. This here, I like the purple vegetables, so this here is a Black Beauty. That got a little bit more time on that. Got some good sized ones here. These ones here look ready. Ooh, and then look at how good these yellow ones look. So this yellow one, this is called a Berries Crazy Cherry. These are really, really good. If you don't know, the yellow or orange tomatoes, they tend to be a little bit less acidic than your standard red tomatoes. So if you don't particularly care for the acidic tomatoey taste, you might like the orange or the yellow ones a little bit better. And you can use them, you can add them to your sauce recipes or whatever. Just add a different, depth of flavor to it. Here I have some amaranth. I grew that mostly just because I thought it would look nice. I did see somebody on somewhere that they had harvested it in the grain and made basically like an oatmeal out of it. So I may try that. We'll have to see. Got some, these are just beautiful. These are blueberry tomatoes. So get a few handfuls of them. I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then we have more down here that are ready. Have our sunflower that opened up. This one is a little bit shorter. These are the mammoth sunflowers, so usually they're a lot bigger, but they are going into soil that is not that great. Here in Indiana, we have a lot of heavy clay soil, and on this particular lot, we have a whole lot of rocks, so it's very hard to garden in, which is why I had to go with the raised beds, because you dig down and you hit rocks no matter where you're digging. So we got a little bit more there. As you can see, we have quite a few more that are ripe, but this is the one I really wanted to get. Look at this beauty. This is labeled as a black seaman, but I think that tag is wrong. A nice tomato. It has a little bit of cracking. As you'll see, we've had a really dry summer, as a lot of places have, and so when it rains, if you overwater or if it rains too much, sometimes they'll just crack, but perfectly fine to use and will taste delicious. Here's another amaranth, just a little different coloring on that one, and then we have some more tomatoes down here. Down here, vining out, we have this will be a pumpkin if it has enough time. It's I can't remember the exact type, but it's some kind of cheese pumpkin, but it's supposed to be really delicious. Look at this one back here, you guys. This is even bigger. Not quite ready yet, but look at that monster. Can't wait. Believe this is a Kellogg's breakfast. So, and that is about what I got. Like I said, I have a few more tomatoes here to harvest, but just wanted to kind of give you guys a little mini tour, show you how things are growing. And I'll be doing some videos on starting a fall garden. So don't think that it's too late to start. You have a lot of things that will grow that actually are very frost hardy and that taste better if they've been touched by a frost, as they say. So you still have plenty of time to get your fall garden going. So stick around and come back and keep growing with me, guys. Thanks, and have a great day.